Hey, good morning. It's Dr. James. I do hope and pray this message finds you and your loved ones peaceful, thriving, and well. And this morning's message has been in my heart for quite some time now. You know, as I am preparing myself for the next evolution of what's happening here in the United States, I really believe that I am not alone in how I'm starting to feel just how uncomfortable this is going to be over these next few months. And it's been super uncomfortable for many of us over these last several years and maybe longer. And who knows where we have in terms of our personal narrative and our story in relationship to how we feel we are doing in this world and how we are being respected or loved or honored or just given basic human rights. Things that I look at, I've been so blessed, right? I'm a white male in the United States, so I already had so much going for me. And sometimes it's really interesting just to realize more and more as I look around and see so many of my brothers and sisters who never have had the advantages that I've had. So one of the things I'm really looking at is my responsibility as a white male in this country today. And what I'm getting ready to do over these next few months. I was talking to my best friend in the world yesterday, and we were talking about what is it ours to do. He is another white male, and he is also realizing just how fortunate he has been in his life. And, you know, it's interesting, right? I can look at my family history and say, well, I grew up in a family of alcoholics, and I grew up where there was a ton of just, I'm going to call it drama, and I'll leave it there, because there was plenty of that. But it is nothing compared to what so many people have gone through, continue to go through, and will probably continue to go through based on some of the things that we're seeing presently here in this country of the United States. So as a white male who has a voice and who has a presence and who has a capacity to feel more than I'm probably preparing or ever prepared myself to feel, I need to be more all in. I have to be open to understanding that I have an opportunity today to put a stake in the ground, to go all in such a way that I stand with my brothers and sisters of all colors, of all faiths, of all orientations, and use my voice and use this platform and use it in such a way that I understand that I am not here to try to change other people's minds. We, if you are part of what I'm feeling, we are here to change people's hearts. And we don't change people's hearts intellectually. We don't share facts and figures necessarily. As the Dalai Lama once said, he said, you convince most powerfully through your presence. And what I'm understanding more and more that the presence of love is what it is that my brothers and sisters who do not necessarily see or are probably not wanting to see, or maybe not thinking about voting in a way that they're willing to see what is absolutely necessary that this country has to have in order to survive itself. Survive itself. Based on what it is that this country at one time was wanting to stand for, had still a ton of work in which it needed to do, but had a vision about how it was working towards getting there, or at least it spoke to these principles, at least it was intellectually wanting to be about these principles, but it never fully went all in into being a demonstration of these principles. So I woke up this morning, I said, okay, what does it look like to go all in? And how uncomfortable will this be for people like you and me, if you're feeling like I am, that you have so much more to do, but you're not really feeling interested in trying to reach over and tell someone who may not necessarily align with your values, see what you see, not want to look and see what's really, really happening here. And you don't want to spend your time trying to use your intellect to shift their consciousness. So here's what we could do. We do what the Dalai Lama said and convinced by our presence, because what we know changes people's intellect, more importantly, changes their heart, is by seeing a demonstration of love. You know, there's no question that you look at neurochemistry, you look at contagion, you look at how people transform. They don't transform through fear necessarily. Maybe a little bit, maybe for a short period of time. Studies show that we literally change physiologically, emotionally, spiritually, all our entire being changes when we're under the influence of seeing a presentation and a demonstration of love. And it comes in the form of hope. It comes in the form of inclusivity. It comes in the form of courage. It comes in the form of being present and seeing what the truth is and leaning into the truth in such a level of courage and a level of conviction that we don't want to look away. We want to actually stand as a way. Don't look away. Stand as a presentation and demonstration of a way. Every human being right now is searching. I do believe that all of our brothers and sisters, the ones on the left, the ones on the right, the Christians, the conservatives, the liberals, the agnostics, the atheists, the ones who believe, the ones who know the truth. We're all searching for it. We all want to feel better. We know that fear isn't working, but sometimes fear is a simple place to go because it's convenient, it's what we've known. And I know so many of my brothers and sisters who are standing in fear right now and potentially wanting to align with that in a relationship to their politic. They don't necessarily feel good about their fear. They just don't know another ray of hope that wants to come through them. So that's where you and I come in. And that's not an ego thing. It's a thing that stands for a principle and a practice of standing in the truth of what we know that common humanity needs to see right now. A demonstration, a presentation of what it means to be that. That. I'm excited. I'm scared. I'm patiently open to seeing what it is that we could do as a world right now. The U.S. is going to go through a really, really, really hard time. But does it have to be necessarily hard because we're full of fight? But actually, could it be that we're full of light? And light is hard right now. But light is the only way that we will change the world right now. So, I'm going to stand like I've never stand before. I'm going to be present like I've always knew I needed to be, but wasn't necessarily courageous enough to be. But boy, am I feeling it right now. I've got nothing to lose and everything to lose. It's a really interesting place to be, isn't it? So, I'm standing with you, and I'm wondering, and I'm hoping, and I'm asking, are you standing with me too? It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to know the way. I don't know the way. I just know that I have to be better. I don't have to be right. I just have to learn how to get it right. So I'm going to be a student of love. I'm going to be a student of light. I'm going to be a witness to what it means to get very uncomfortable with my truth and absolutely live it. Live up to the truth. Live up to what I believe God has put inside of all of us. Every single one of us. All beings. Everyone. So with that, thank you for standing. Thank you for being. Thank you for honoring. Thank you for allowing. I see you. I stand with you. And I love you. Thank you. Bye for now.